Hello, my name is Harrison Conway, and I attend Lutheran South Academy in Houston, Texas. An estimated 2.2 billion individuals globally lack access to reliable electricity, of whom 1.9 billion live in rural areas. Of these people, about 760 million have no access to electricity at all, 87% of whom live in rural or remote areas. Hydropower, and specifically Pico-Hydro power, which is the smallest variation of hydropower, is one way to provide rural electrification where grid extension is too costly and freshwater resources are available. However, existing solutions are either ineffective and dangerous, or they are expensive, costing up to $3,500 for the turbine alone. This project analyzed the viability of Pico-Hydro energy generation in rural settings. With rural conditions in mind, I designed a siphon action pico-scale reaction hydro turbine with fixed blades, and I built it using inexpensive, off-the-shelf materials for $67. Then I conducted proof of concept, angle of discharge, shaft and motor sprocket ratio, and field testing to measure the prototype's energy output and analyze factors impacting energy production. This is the turbine here. Yes. Under proof of concept testing, the prototype's average power output was equivalent to about 4% of a rural household's energy consumption. However, testing conditions were limited the prototype's ability to reach peak energy production. In terms of angle of discharge, paired t-testing and simple linear regression demonstrated that increasing deviation from vertical negatively impacted power output. Conversely, no association was seen between energy output and the number of sprocket teeth or the ratio of sprocket diameters used on the turbine shaft and external motor. These tests were all conducted using controlled conditions in my backyard in Houston, Texas. For field testing, I scouted a rural location in Meridian, Mississippi that had water access, a relatively level ground surface, and a greater head allowance than was used in proof of concept testing. The turbine was then transported to the site, and the testing assembly with the piping was built to suit that site. In field testing, the prototype averaged about 18% of a rural household's energy needs, with estimates suggesting that it could provide up to 35% at peak output. However, when the AC motor was replaced by a DC motor for testing purposes, the prototype generated about 29% of a rural household's power needs, with estimates of about 95% of power at peak output. Compared to other renewable and traditional energy sources, this prototype provides the lowest cost to entry for household electricity generation. Its annual operating expenses are low, and its levelized cost of electricity is lower than that of other hydrokinetic turbines, as well as solar, offshore wind, gas, coal, and nuclear energies. In fact, only onshore wind reports a lower levelized cost of electricity than was seen with this prototype. Because energy access is key to economic and social growth, particularly among women and girls, reducing rural energy disparities is critical to closing the development gap and lifting households around the world out of poverty. Moreover, this prototype has the potential to reduce energy poverty for entire communities if multiple versions are connected into an off-grid community network. Efforts to improve this design and get it into the hands of the people who need it are ongoing. Thank you for your time today.